Okay, we are live. We are live. So we're going to give everybody a few more minutes to come on in the room. Come on in the room, guys. We have a special guest with us tonight. Actually, this is something we're going to implement every Wednesday to add it to our portfolio of Black Wealth. Okay.
That's
So this is
right.
our Black Wednesday with MiMi, the motivator, also known as my favorite motivator. I am
Yes.
Kimberly Connor from Colorado Springs, Colorado, with Kim's Credit Leverage, where I teach you how to leverage what you've got in order to get what you want. So, without any further ado, I'm going to bring on stage Miss MiMi, the motivator. I just want to introduce her because she is so amazing. She is like a powerhouse when it comes to Black wealth, when it comes to wealth in general. I call MiMi,
Yes.
okay? So I'm super, super excited that she's here to spread her love, spread her wealth, spread her information to not only my platform, but her platform. We're also on Facebook as well. So please tap into Facebook under Kim's Credit Leverage and subscribe. We're going to extend the platforms here within the next week so we can add it to MiMi's platform as well because we're going to grow this thing. That's
That's
how we're going
right.
to be that's
That's
how we're going
right.
to be able to get through and touch and spread the education to the masses because each one teach one. So we're
Yeah.
locking arms with our community and getting it out there. I'm super proud to be alongside MiMi, where she does the Black Coffee Talk, and that goes on every Thursday at 7:30 a.m. Mountain Time, guys. So if you haven't tapped in or if you're not following MiMi, I suggest you do that now because if you're not following her, I don't know where you're going. But you need to hop on and follow MiMi, the motivator. Okay, so look her
Yeah.
up. She's super, super dope. She also does the moon meditation, which is something that I love, love, love. The goddess brunch, we get together with our sisters and do our goddess brunch once a month. So that's super dope as well. Also, Get High on Motivation. I don't want to forget about that. That's a podcast full of information and inspiration. So Get High on Motivation, y'all. Look it up, look it up, look it up. So last time we were together, Mimi, we talked about credit utilization.
Yes.
So this week, I would like to kind of talk about authorized users, if you will. But
Yes.
before I go there, I want you to elaborate a little bit about what you have going on with the minority mastermind, if you will.
Yes. So
Can
the
you take
Minority Mastermind, thank you so much for having me today, Kim. So I am Mimi the Motivator, your favorite motivator's favorite motivator, host of the Get High on Motivation show. And I own a company called the Feel Rich Group. And a part of our social impact, the division of our company is called the Minority Mastermind. And the Minority Mastermind is something that we see as an opportunity, a solution, and a resource for our community. So it's an opportunity for those who have information, expertise, and experience that they are willing to give back to the community, that they're willing to pour in to the community and those who need what they have. So it's also an opportunity for people like you and I who are ready to level up. We want to take our finances up. We want to just take life up to the next level in general. And so we provide a program that helps you condition your mind and program your mind for wealth because that's where it all begins. Wealth begins in the mindset. It doesn't begin with that better paying job or that bigger paycheck. That just means you have more money to spend if you don't know any better. So the last thing that it is it is a resource. It is a resource for the community, for them to come together. We have Black Coffee Talk, as she mentioned earlier, Thursday. It's free to attend, and it's just intimate conversation where we talk about what are the opportunities, what are the challenges, and what are possible solutions for us to build the money that we desire and we deserve. That is our birthright. And so that's the main thing. I feel like the modern day Harriet Tubman and the Minority Mastermind is like the modern day Underground Railroad, and we're going to free you from mental slavery. So thank you so much.
that is so dope. But what I'm running into, sis, and I want to see if you're running into the same thing by trying to save the world. The old saying where all slaves didn't want to be free, and that
Right.
kind of irritates me personally because I feel sorry for them. I'm like, no child left behind, not on my watch.
Yes, yes.
Understand? So, what would
Well,
you say we could do about that? Just
well, it's kind of like how Harriet Tubman said that she freed 1,000 slaves, but she could have freed 1,000 more if they only knew that they were slaves. So what I have learned is that instead of me beating people over the head to try to convince them like, hey, you're a slave, you're a sheeple out here, you're acting like sheeple, you're following the hips in front of you, you're doing what they say do, you're not thinking, instead of that, you have to speak the language that matters. And what I believe is we have to speak to what is the pain that we are really up against? What is our external struggle and what is our internal struggle? Because it's two different struggles. The external struggle might be, I want to buy a new home, but I can't. The internal struggle is because I can't buy this new home, I feel like less of an adult. I feel like less of a parent, or I feel like just less of a person, period, because I can't get my stuff together so I can buy this house. And my children are waiting on me, or my parents are looking at me like, when are you going to do that thing, that you've been talking about? Your friends are looking, So what it really is about is speaking to what is the actual pain that people are having, because sometimes people, like you said, they don't know that they're a slave, but they do know that they're having trouble with their finances. They do know that the more money they make, they got more problems, is what they think. They feel like the more money they make, the more money they spend, like it's a hole somewhere that they can't find, because they know they're making more money, but life is not changing.
hmm and it's not even a maybe, but it's not changing because their mindset hasn't changed.
Exactly.
You have to have that money mindset in order to even understand money or not be afraid of money.
Right.
Some people set a cap, okay, I want to make $2,000 a month, but they're afraid to make any more because they've already set that thermostat
Mm-hmm.
to that 2,000 a month. And when they make more, they're like, what do I do with it? Oh, let's go give it to the other man instead of
Right.
reinvesting it back in
Yeah,
themselves.
it's like, oh, I can go buy that stuff that I hadn't been able to buy and that I just really wanted. Oh, I can go buy some new shoes, or I can go buy what my neighbor has, or what somebody on TV, on social media has, versus thinking, how about I keep on living on this same amount of money and invest this extra money because I wasn't used to it anyway. And if I've grown accustomed to living at this level of income, continue to do so. Don't allow the extra income to change your lifestyle. That's the first thing that we do, is we switch up our lifestyle. But switching up
Mhm.
your lifestyle comes with an onset of extra bills that you weren't used to having and that you
Mm.
don't really need. Just think about, some people are house broke out here. They do, they get in position to buy a home, but then they maximize the total amount of a possible loan. And then they go furnish the house. And then they realize, oh, I gotta pay taxes. Oh, I gotta pay insurance. Oh, I got the water heater went out. Oh, I gotta get my roof fixed.
Mhm.
So it's
Amen.
just all just like a lack of information is what I believe. We're just suffering from a lack of information. That's all.
That
Ignorance doesn't mean that we're stupid. It just means that somebody knows something that we don't know and we need to know it.
absolutely. And thank you guys for tuning in. We have people tuning in once again from YouTube. We have people tuning in from MiMi the Motivators page, and people tuning in from Kim's Credit Leverage. So you guys, if you will, drop a comment of where you're tuning in from and share this podcast. It's going to get larger every week, of course. It's going to get larger, y'all. But we need your help. So share, and comment alike. And also, that's pretty much where we're going with this. Like I said, we are going to grow this community, on a weekly basis. So it's going to get better. It's going to get better. So thank you guys for tuning in. And if you have any questions for Mimi or myself about anything financial, anything spiritual, just let us know. Drop it in the comments and we'll get your questions answered today.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I have. I just wanted to share as far as the credit is concerned, because we don't know, sometimes where we're going to take the platform. We're spiritual, so we don't know where it's going to go.
Right. We just
But
letting it follow and flow.
letting it fly, letting it flow. So, Mimi, what would you like to say today about where we want to go with this platform?
Well, you mentioned earlier about authorized user, which I think is a great conversation. So I don't know everything that Miss Credit Kim knows, but I can always speak from my own personal experience. And I read a lot of books, and I can tell you what the books say,
Okay.
in a nutshell. So I think that's a great space for us to talk about. Because I think sometimes when we hear about being an authorized user on somebody else's account or considering having somebody as an authorized user on an account, we scared. That sounds
Mhm.
like you can mess my credit up. So how about we talk about what is the truth about that? Can somebody mess your credit up by being an authorized user? Or if you do this authorized user process, how should you do it? You
Right.
know?
Right. And the thing about that, the authorized user is just going to help somebody to better their credit. They can mess up your credit if you make them an authorized user and you mail them a credit card. So then
Right.
they have just as much right to charge on your account that you do. So what I always advise now that I am educating inmates, from anywhere from 7 months to the door, I'm
Yes.
educating inmates on talking to their family members who may have good credit and say, hey, well, you don't have to worry about me messing up your credit. Just put me on as an authorized user so that they can report my social security number as having good credit for these
Mhm.
7 months that I'm in jail. So then when
Yes.
they get out, they're almost homeowner qualified or they have some type of good credit. Some of these people haven't even thought about credit. So we just ask that the authorized user not be given a card. I'm like, I don't want the card. Don't send it to me, but you can have my social security number in order to put me on as an authorized user on your account. Now, before you ask somebody to put you on as an authorized user, make
Mhm.
sure that they are not behind in their payments. Make sure that their utilization rate is below 10%.
Mm.
Okay. If their
That's something
credit
I
is,
didn't know.
if
If you
their
don't
credit,
mind, Miss Kim, can you define what credit utilization means for our people? So that way they're
absolutely.
they're not lost. I don't want them to get stuck on this part and not know what we're talking about. So can you elaborate a little bit on what credit utilization is?
Absolutely. Credit utilization is how much of your credit are you actually using. So if you have, we're just going to say $100 credit card. Now let's
Hmm.
let's think bigger than that. We're gonna say 1,000. So
Okay.
when you $1,000 credit card, if you use $300 of that, that's 30% of utilization. So typically they ask that you keep your utilization rate below 30%. So when you get that $1,000 credit card, think in your mind, I only have a $300 credit card, okay? And in order to get yourself leveled up to like that 850 credit score, you want to keep it below 10%. So out of that $1,000 credit card, you want to go in the mind frame of I only have $100 credit card. Now the credit is just given to you to so that you could prove yourself credit worthy. Okay, they don't want to see you gorging on your credit because then you're going to seem like you're not reliable, you're not credit worthy, you're not responsible. If I give you $100 and say, take $10 of this and go grocery shopping and put the rest away, but you go grocery shopping and you spend the whole amount that I told you not to, that's showing that you're irresponsible. So I'm not going to trust you with my money or my credit anymore. So banks want to show that you're credit worthy. They want to show that you're credit worthy. So the utilization, just keep in mind, just because you get $1,000 credit card, don't mean you got $1,000 worth of money. When you go into banks, they want to see that you have available credit. So just look at it like this: if you spent that $1,000, you no longer have any available credit. So you just want to make sure that you keep your credit utilization very, very low. It's okay to have credit, but you have to understand when, why, and where to use it, and also how to use it.
Nice.
So did that
Nice.
make sense to you about the credit
Yes,
utilization?
definitely, definitely. I have been a person that has exercised this authorized user before. I had my grandmother add me to one of her accounts because she's like the queen of credit cards. But I didn't know about this whole credit utilization thing. Had I known that, I probably would have did a little homework first. But what I knew is that if I didn't have any revolving accounts on my credit. And that boosts your credit up in a sense. It shows that you got something going on or somebody trusts you, in a sense, is the way I looked at it. So I had her add me to one of her credit cards just as an authorized user. And I didn't want the card. And that's what I was very specific in saying, is I don't want the card. And that definitely gave, I think, her, like a, okay, it's okay, But yeah, but I think my credit went up just like a few points immediately, in a sense, doing that. And I think what's important for us to probably mention week after week is that you have to build your credit and you have to battle your credit, because some people just battle the credit. They're just trying to get the old debt off, but that's not the only part. You have to build it up as well. And then some people the other way, they just worried about trying to add stuff to open credit lines and not worrying about paying off some of those little things that could be little baby small nuances that are less than $100 or just a couple of $100 on their credit report. What do you think?
Absolutely. That is so important, because you're absolutely right. Me dealing with people and their credit history and profile, they are thinking, oh, I'm going to sign up for this and they're going to delete all the derogatory items off of my credit and I'm going to have that 850 credit score.
Yes.
But you also have to keep in mind, some of those accounts that are on there, they may be derogatory, but that's going to also take off your length of credit, because that length of credit might have been 7 years ago. Length of credit, it does justify at least the length of credit is 10%
Yes.
of your credit history. So you want to make sure that you pay attention to what you're actually deleting or disputing, because once that length of credit is gone, you now have to start building a new credit history. So you're absolutely right. So while we're working on your credit on the back end, you definitely want to get with a consultant to help build your credit on the front end. And I'm super proud to say that MiMi can help you with that as well.
I can help.
So I'm super proud of that. So as far as an authorized user, you guys, if you're looking to build credit, even with your children, I added my daughter at age 16 to one of my good credit cards. So that when she's 18 and they start legally pulling her credit report, she'll have some substantial credit.
That's
Okay.
good.
And I also have a list. This is a freebie for tonight. I have a list of the banks and what age that they actually can start adding or being approved as an authorized user.
Okay.
So, yeah, we don't know how to win the game if we don't know how to play it.
That's right.
Yep. Some banks you can start as soon as your child is born. Other cultures, they know about these. They know the rules and they leverage these rules and laws that were kept from us either on purpose. But definitely I know that there was an angle for that, and that's to keep us or try to keep us down. But we all know that's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Yep.
Can't keep us down. You cannot keep us down. Yes. No. This was definitely an important conversation for us to have. And I'm looking forward to us having more conversations about the different aspects of credit, the different aspects of wealth. So if you're watching this live or if you're watching the replay, know that you can expect us to be here next week again, talking about something different. So same two faces, same topic, but we're going to be talking about something different, I promise, each week. So if you have questions that you would like to see us answer, go ahead and send us the questions ahead of time. And we don't mind answering those on our next show. So just send us a private message or however you are connected to us, or drop it in the chat box wherever you're watching this video. We'll get the question and we'll get you the answer, because a smart person doesn't know all the answers, but they know where to find them. So you're a smart person if you know to ask your questions.
So I wanted to ask you a quick question, MiMi. If somebody wants, well, not even if, but when they want to get in contact with you, is there a number or text message, or do you prefer email or just?
I am an email person. You can always go to my website, MiMiTheMotivator.com, and you can send me a direct message right there. I'm on Instagram. I'm not on Facebook really. So if you send me a Facebook message, it might sit there and collect dust for a little while, and then I'll see it. But definitely go to my website. That's the easiest way to contact me, at MiMiTheMotivator.com. That's 2 I's, not 2 E's. And I will get back with you for sure, because I feel like you got questions and I got answers. I don't read all these books for nothing. I don't have books in 3 states for the hell of it. my whole goal in life was about 15 years ago is to learn everything I possibly could to change my life, my family's life, and my community's life. Because I am from a zip code in Nashville where it's the worst zip code, is what they say. It's one of the worst zip codes demographically in the United States. They say that 1 out of every 7 of us that were born 1980 to 1986, that we were destined to be in prison by our 30s. So I want to change that statistic and make sure it's false.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. That is super, super fantastic. So if you if you have a few minutes, if I can go ahead and let our audience know what some of the banks are and what their qualifications are for adding an authorized user. If you guys know anybody in prison, you know what I'm saying, that needs help, help them. They're not begging. They're not looking for a handout. This is one way that I'm coaching them on how to look for a hand up. Then that way they could be homeowner qualified or even qualified for their own credit cards. And when they do get out, they're not asking you for stuff. So set them up for success. That's one of our main problems as a culture. We're not really supporting our people. You know what I'm saying? And also the prison is not a reform. You know what I'm saying? They're not conditioning us for the streets or life for that matter, not even our schools. So this is one way that we can help our community. Definitely you want to start in the home and start your children at a young age and helping them with their credit. I know back in my day, my mom was using my social security number for her phone bill. For the electricity. She had 3 kids. It get turned off, she'll put it in my brother's name. So that's what I knew about credit.
Yes.
That's all I knew about credit and how they used our social security number. I didn't know anything about building credit to build wealth. So, but that stops here. That's called breaking generational curses. Okay.
Yes.
In order to break a generational curse, start setting your children up with success, guys. I'm going to let you guys know a couple of banks that do accept authorized users and the minimum age requirement. Okay. So we do have American Express. The minimum age requirement is only 13, and they do report to all 3 credit bureaus. Bank of America, there is no age requirement on that one. So you can start as soon as your baby's born. So there's no requirement on that, and they do report to the credit bureaus. That's the one that I have my daughter on. Barclays credit card, their minimum age is 13, and they also report. Capital One, there's no minimum age requirement. Chase, there's no minimum age requirement. Citibank, no minimum age requirement. Discover, age 15, okay? Discover is age 15. US Bank is age 16. And last but not least, Wells Fargo, and there's no minimum age required. So if any of those banks or financial institutions resonated with you guys, or you already have one, think about adding your children, because they are our future, our financial future.
They are. They are.
So yes.
I guess we want to thank everybody for tuning in today, and we'll see them next week. Make sure you get your questions to us so we can get them answered. And we're here to help. We're here to support you. You think that it takes a village to raise a child? It takes a village to raise an adult as well.
I like that slogan.
So we like to be a part of your village, is what I would like to say.
Amen. Amen. And I'm definitely down for that. So once again, thank you guys for tuning in to Wealth Wednesday, where we're going to grow your village. You guys have a good night, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.